everybody, and welcome to this episode of Burning Issues. I'm your host, Laura Gale Locke, and today we're going to be taking a look back at all of the exciting things and accomplishments that happened with the Wichita Fire Department in 2014. Our special guest today is the Wichita Fire Chief, Ron Blackwell. Thanks for being here, Chief.
Good to be with you.
Well, let's talk about some of the new things that you guys got done in 2014.
One of the of many things that happened in 2014 that I was really excited about was that we were able to add to our fleet. We have a fleet replacement program, and so we were able to acquire 9 new fire engines and 1 new ladder truck, and that is really, really exciting news and allows us to continue to be in a position where we can work efficiently. And also this new equipment is very helpful to our firefighters, and as you've seen over the course of the past few days when it's been very cold, there are some advantages for our people there as well.
And talk a little bit about what the new trucks offer.
Well, they will pump at least 1,500 gallons a minute. They're custom designed, and so we've had some features added that could help lessen some firefighter injuries. They come with some new equipment that's new to us that we're training our people on. So there are a lot of good things going on with our fleet.
Were the previous trucks, were they, decades old? And
well, no, actually we have a fleet replacement program that is based on age, cost of age and cost of repair, or 2 of 3 factors that we consider. And those that left the fleet were rapidly approaching that age in which they were going to become less reliable for us.
And I understand you'll have some new people on those trucks.
Well, we had a recruit class, 17 during 2014, and then we were able to secure a second class that began in December. So our firefighter continues to trend younger as some of our more tenured people reach retirement age, and we continue to be and will be for a long time now very successful at continuing to provide the service that the community has come to expect, but we're going to be doing it with a lot of new people.
And will you tell us a little bit about the training that the recruits have to go through and what that's like?
Sure. We put our recruits through a 12, sometimes 14-week recruit class, and right now, again, because of weather, they've been indoors a lot, but we like to get them outdoors and involved in those activities that help sharpen their skills as it relates to firefighting. And during that time they'll learn a lot of things related to their health and wellness, to how equipment operates. We do some emergency medical training as well, and that's something that we're also excited about in 14, what we were able to do as it relates to people who had heart attacks. And at the end of a 12 or 14 week period, we bring them all down here to City Hall, and we have a nice recognition ceremony.
And it's important to have highly trained, qualified individuals operating your trucks and your equipment and responding to people when they're having these emergencies. And
Right. Without doubt, a combination of experienced and less experienced people works, but we do place a high value on people who are experienced, but we here are fortunate in that we've got a pretty good combination of experienced and new people that keep us on top of our game.
And we were fortunate to be able to have some of those experienced people at some of the major incidents that we had last year.
Right. One that readily comes to mind involved the incident at the airport last October, where we had a twin-engine plane strike a building. Sadly, there were 4 people who lost their lives that day, but there were well over 100 who were able to escape. A lot of what we saw that day from our firefighters in terms of the response was based in sound training and in many of the things that our people work on every day.
And how many fatalities did we have last year, fire fatalities?
2014 was not a good year for us in my mind, and it's certainly something that we're going to focus some attention on in 15, but 11 people lost their lives in residential fires this past year. I say 11. 4 of the 11 were at the airport. The bulk of the remaining 7 were at home. So we continue to see the trend, if you will, that the majority of people who die by fire in Wichita die at home. And so we've got to redouble our efforts in the fire prevention area to get information to folks, to continue to do things with Project Smoke Alarm and carbon monoxide detectors and smoke alarm battery replacements. All those programs will continue.
And how does Project Smoke Alarm work?
Well, it's relatively simple. If you don't have a smoke alarm, you can contact our fire prevention office at 268-4510 and make a request, and we will then put you in contact with one of our firefighters, perhaps the neighborhood fire station. They'll bring out and install that smoke alarm for you.
Is there any cost?
There is no cost. We've got some really strong partnerships here in the community with Safe Kids, with the State Fire Marshal's Office, and others. Interstate Battery provides the batteries at no cost, and then the other organizations have provided us the smoke alarms themselves.
And then do you guys also provide carbon monoxide detectors as well?
There are carbon monoxide detectors that are available, and I was remiss in not mentioning the Tylee Davis family. You know, it was, I believe, 2013, the family suffered a fatal fire and has since been very involved in helping us with our smoke alarm project.
With the fire fatalities that took place at homes, did you see, were they because of a smoke detector not being in the home, or was it cigarettes, or did you see any commonalities? Well,
the thing that we see most often, careless smoking continues to be the leading cause of fire here in Wichita. In addition to the careless smoking, we often see fires involving the kitchen. A lot of things happen around the kitchen. And then children playing with matches or playing with fire continues to be problematic for us here in the community.
And I know that you guys are going to be, increasing your public education efforts, and I know the FLASH program is part of that.
Right, yeah. The FLASH program, the acronym FLASH, stands for Fire Loss Awareness for Safer Homes, is something that we've been doing for several years now, where when a fire occurs, fire or significant fire incident occurs in a neighborhood, we send our firefighters back within 48 hours of that incident and have them to go door to door to share with the residents what happened and what they might do to protect themselves.
So are your firefighters literally reaching thousands of people over the course of a year?
I believe we are. Last year was another year where we responded to about 50,000 calls for emergency service, while the bulk of our calls are emergency medical in nature. Those fire calls tend to create the most significant risk, and we believe it's important to provide information to the community. So we work at that. We've got members of the department dedicated to providing public education who go out and do that every day, and then we use the guys in the fire stations for that purpose as well.
And the other members of your educational team, your fire prevention unit, they go out to schools quite a bit, and businesses as well, is that right?
Yeah, schools, business, industry on a daily basis, and they do things related to fire safety at your place of work, and then that can transition into fire safety at home. There are programs related to how to use a fire extinguisher. We know that we encourage people to have one. People go out and buy them and often don't know how to use them, and so we do a number of things that we hope provide for a safer community.
And I meant to ask you earlier, how many smoke alarms did you guys hand out in 2014?
Almost 400. We've reached that point now where it seems we would average a smoke alarm, a little more than one free smoke alarm is installed by someone in the fire department every day.
It's a great service.
We like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then I know you guys are also focusing on other issues, other potential avenues for danger, including water safety.
Right, and again, referencing the weather, it can be deceptive. Those areas where there's water and rivers and lakes and ponds and streams are frozen. Sometimes people get out on that water and fall through. We've got a technical rescue team that is made up of highly trained individuals that are well prepared to address issues related to water and ice, water rescue, sadly in some cases body recovery, but that's an area of expertise. In addition to that, we've got a group of hazardous materials technicians who are stationed in the northern part of the city that specialize in dealing with chemicals and hazardous waste and those kinds of issues. So our community, through its fire department, is very well served. We consider ourselves an all-risk organization, and we've got a number of highly trained people who are very good at their jobs.
And I think there's people out there who probably don't realize that the majority of your work deals with medical calls.
It does, and again, that's an area where in 2014 I'm especially proud of some of the things that we were able to accomplish. We've been involved in what's called pit crew cerebral rescue resuscitation over the past couple of years, and last year there were 96 what we call field saves, where our people were able to respond to a cardiac emergency in which someone was not breathing and didn't have circulation, and were able to get that circulation restored. 47 of the 96 were discharged from hospitals, and that is an increase over 2013. And so we've got people who are really doing some outstanding life-saving work.
Is there anything you would specifically attribute that to, in addition to your, highly trained people?
I think that the community has some awareness or is sensitive to how they should respond or react during those times of crisis. An immediate call to emergency communications at 911 starts a chain of events that can lead to a lot of cardiac success.
And then did you want to take a moment to highlight your drowning prevention partnership?
We did enter in 2014 with a number of community partners, including the city's Park and Recreation. They have a new director now. Our other partners at USD 259, Derby Park and Rec, Hall's Swim School is a private partner that has come together with us to look at what we can do to eliminate child drowning. It's one of those things that you don't hear a lot about because often our response doesn't involve a lot of emergency equipment. But there have been drownings over the years that have come to our attention, and through this partnership, we hope to educate young children and adults about the dangers of water, and I believe they're going to be involved in providing some swim lessons at no cost. And so we want to be about keeping people alive, and this partnership is one way to do that.
And speaking of keeping people alive and doing great work, I know you've been honoring some of your own firefighters for their heroic acts.
Yeah, 2014, Captain Chad Dunham. And Chad's been with us at least 15 years now, but Chad was involved in an East Wichita apartment fire late night, and he made a successful rescue of a woman, I believe from the third floor of an apartment building, where he took the risk, went up and was able to successfully get her down and to the ground. And Chad also this year, I believe, was promoted to captain, so 2014 was a good year for Chad. Firefighter of the Year, promotion to captain. He has since been reassigned since that rescue, but Chad is one of several members of the department who are hitting a home run for us every day.
It's part of the ceremony where you honor them during, is it called Medals Day?
Right, yeah. Every August we have what we call Medals Day, and August 23rd was the day that the Wichita Fire Department was founded by the City Council way back in 1886, so we're approaching 130 years old. But on Medals Day, we take time to pause and reflect and recognize members of the department who have been involved in community service and emergency service work over the course of the year, and it all culminates with recognition of our Firefighter of the Year, and this last year it was Captain Chad Dunham.
And I know for people who want to learn more about the fire department, you guys also offer a pretty cool academy. Yeah,
we have a Citizens Fire Academy, which last year was our 5th year, so time has flown, but we have a number of people from the community who come through for 10 weeks, one night a week for 10 weeks, for 3 hours. At our training center, they are introduced not only to members of the department, but things that they can do on a personal level to make themselves fire safe. And we like to make it fun, so we get them involved in some of the activities that our firefighters are trained in during their basic and recruit training classes. It's been very successful for us, and over the course of the 5 years now, I think we're nearing 100 graduates.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
If somebody's interested and they'd like to participate in the academy, how do they go about doing that?
There are 2 ways. It typically starts in the spring, and we become, I'd say a little more social media savvy or conscious than we've been in years past. So if you could monitor our Facebook page during the spring, the announcements start there, and then, as you know, we also utilize the city's website, wichita.gov. Click the fire department link and you can get more information.
You just fill out an application, is that right?
Yeah, there is an application process, and we do a bit of a background check, but that is helpful to us, and after 10 weeks we think we have a more informed community.
And I know you like to engage the community a lot in addition to getting people into your academy. Talk about how you invite people's feedback and that helps shape what your department does.
Well, one of the things that we did in 2014 that we thought was a significant community engagement activity had to do with the issue of fireworks and the Independence Day celebration. And so working with our friends at the library, we took advantage of ACT Wichita and conducted some online surveys and gathered some information related to how the community feels about that topic and what they think we ought to do, and we're right now working our way through how that information can be helpful to us in terms of making 2015 a safer year, and also addressing concerns that we learned through that survey related to fireworks.
So we'll stay tuned for possible changes before the 4th, possibly?
Yeah, stay tuned.
Okay. Anything else you'd like people to know about 2014? Anything you're particularly proud of or want to highlight? Well,
I think that the community and through the City Council was very supportive of us in 2014. We talked about the acquisition of the new fire equipment and apparatus. We talked about the recruit classes. Those things are critical and very important to our success. But also we were able to secure funding for new automated external defibrillators, which again would help us in those cardiac and heart situations. 2014 was a very good year for our fire department. The number of responses and incidents continued to trend up. There were about 50,000 calls last year, which is an increase over 13. I don't expect that would slow down in 15, but I do feel immense pride in our people and what they were able to get done in 2014, and I'm sure we'll do even better in 2015.
And I'll get you to highlight for 1 second your regional training center, and that serves not only our firefighters but other firefighters.
Right, we do participate in the fall in what's called Wichita HOT, and again, HOT is an acronym for hands-on training, which we believe is one of the premier firefighter training opportunities in this region, and we'll see firefighters and instructors from across the country who will come to Wichita over the course of a weekend and teach those topics that are important to firefighters' safety, to enhancing their skills, and it's just a great weekend and a tremendous opportunity for those new to the fire service, those who have been in the fire service, to stay on top of the game.
And I know you've got some great men and women on the front lines, but you also have some really helpful people who've been around for a long time behind the scenes.
Yeah, I did want to take a second as we close to recognize two people. One is Captain Neil Barnes. Barnes, I believe, at this point, is our longest tenured firefighter. Neil, I believe, started in 1970, and he continues to show up every shift and is doing great work for us. And in addition to Neil, there is Anita Schaefer, who is a longtime member of our administrative staff and is involved in our records management. Anita, I believe, is entering her 16th year, and so wanted to say to both of them, good job. We appreciate what you do, and we're looking forward to more in 2015.
Well, Chief, thank you so much for all the great work that your men and women do for us every day.
Well, it's good to be with you.
All right, and thank you for watching this edition of Burning Issues. The Wichita Fire Department's mission is to provide our community excellent, proactive fire and life safety services through prevention, education, and protection. Remember, Wichita firefighters are highly trained professionals who are your friends and neighbors. They are Wichita's bravest, and they are somewhere serving you in many ways every day.